Hi guys, gals and non-binary pals, welcome back to Budget with Ira.
I never found you funny. I never found you entertaining. I never found you smart. I just found you annoying.
In today's video, we're closing out our April budget and we're looking at my spending in the final week of my 4-week budget. I get paid every 4 weeks, as does my boyfriend, so my budget runs through April into the start of May. We're also going to be seeing how I did against my no spend goals and my other goals. So if budgeting, paying off debt, and being sensible with money is something that interests you, please keep on watching. Okay guys, gals and non-binary pals, we're starting in my April budget. If you want to know how I created this, it's going to be linked up in the cards. So I get paid every 4 weeks, so my week normally runs from a Friday to a Thursday. Now in this budget, I've just got 1 day to check in and then we move on to my new budget. First thing I like to do is go over to the breakdown. So I check in with my bills first of all. So almost all my bills in the last week of my budget came out on the 1st. So we need to use my new calendar. And here it is. I'm tracking my bills almost exactly the same as I did in the last period, but this time I'm using budget stickers. So let's start off with the bills. So on the 1st, 4 was supposed to come out. So it's supposed to be car service 1, TV license, DVLA, and car insurance 2. They all came out absolutely fine. So I'm just going to fill this in. So for bills in May's budget, I'm using blue stickers, and these are from Stickers for Keepers. If you want to see a review that I did on these, that's going to be linked up in the cards. So all 4 came out absolutely fine. So let's put these on. Okay, we've covered the date dot, but such is life. Moving back down to the breakdown, on the 4th we had a bill for the car service 2 for £13.20, which came out absolutely fine as well. And there was no difference in the price. So moving over to the 4th, let's put our sticker down. So when we go down to close out our bill category, there's only one amendment that I need to make. And that is, unfortunately, I needed to spend a little bit more on our habits this month. So I'm just going to white out this. So we ended up spending, in the end, $198.72. Okay, so a bit of a spoiler alert for later on in the video, but there was no unbudgeted whatsoever. So I'm going to put that in as well. So when we add all of our bills up together, it comes to $1,811.39. So that's not much of an overspend, being really honest. It's what, £7, which is actually really, really good. I made a bit of a saving at the start of the month with the phone bill. I still don't know why, but the phone bill's gone back up to a reasonable amount for next month. And then that afforded for the overspend in internet and habits. So if we move over to the close of our breakdown, we can transfer this number from the bills over. So $1,811.39. Let's move back to our check-in and pick this up in a sec. With the check-in, I look at my spending, my petrol. I don't look at my boyfriend's spending or petrol because that's his money. He does with it as he pleases. He's a grown-up. We look at our groceries and we look at unbudgeted. I've already told you that there was no unbudgeted, so we can go over with this one. Well, I can also tell you that we didn't add anything into any other categories because there was no money. So I couldn't add anything, and even if I wanted to. So we can put zeros through here. So let's start with spending. So I had £8.46 left to spend for the week. That isn't very much, so I had to tighten my belt a little bit. So on the Friday, I had a lunch spend of £3.11. In April's budget, we're using Crayola Super Tips to highlight our spends. So we're into May's budget now. If you'd like to see how I set up May's budget, it's linked in the cards. That's the design part. And then in the next video after this one, I'll be sharing what my actual budget breakdown will be. And it's quite interesting. Anyway, on Monday the 3rd, I spent another £3.11. To signify spending this month, I'm using yellow expense trackers, and these are from Planella. And then on the Tuesday, the 4th, I spent £2.26. And that was me all spent up for the week in terms of spending. So after that, I had worked one more day and I brought lunch from home. So what did I actually spend? I spent £8.48 altogether, which meant that I had overspent in my spending category by 2p. Okay, moving on to petrol. I had £20 left and I did put £20 back into my car. I did that on the Sunday, so I'm gonna put in a handmade expense tracker ticker. So checking in with petrol, we spent £20, which left us with nothing remaining. Okay, groceries, there were absolutely no grocery spends whatsoever. So we spent nothing, and then we were plus, oh, this is a minus here, then we were plus 2p. So let's add all of this up. Closing down our check-in for the month, we added nothing in. That's 0. We spent £28.48, which is easy maths for me to do in my head. And then we had rolled over minus 2p and plus 2p, so that makes 0. I'm really pleased with that. Every single penny mattered last month, and that is 0 base, and I'm really pleased with that. So it all worked out exactly. It was a little bit tight in that last month, I'm not gonna lie. So let's move over to our monthly cash. So spending 1, that was my spending. I spent exactly what I was supposed to, and that was £100. Spending 2 was my boyfriend's. He spent, I don't know how much he spent, but he didn't overspend, so I'm just gonna do the 100. My petrol, I spent dead on 100, and I still have like 80 odd miles left in my car, so I'm actually a little bit ahead of next month. Petrol 2 for my boyfriend, he got his 120, and groceries, we had spent the almost £200 by, yeah, we spent that halfway through. So we planned 620 and we spent 620, so bang on budget. Ooh. Which is lovely. Let's move over to our breakdown. Our monthly cash was 620, just as planned. As we close down April's budget, income was slightly more than expected, and bills were slightly more than what we budgeted for. We were bang on with monthly cash, we were bang on with debt, and we are bang on with sinking funds. So we have £6.28 remaining in my account, which is exactly as it adds up. That is our only buffer, so I'm going to keep that there and enjoy it. So this brings us almost to the end of our April budget, which we are now going to retire. It has served its job, thank you very much. I appreciate everything you've done, but it's time to move on to May. Let's have a look at our no spends. We wanted to do 4 no spend days. So we have 2 more no spends to talk about, which were Wednesday and Thursday, which were completely no spends because I just didn't have any money for it. So I'm going to mark them up as no spends in the new calendar. I probably need to invest in some stickers for this. So there's 2 in May and 1, 2, 3, 4 in April. So 6 days no spend, which is absolutely incredible. So 6 no spend days. When we look at the goals that I set, so first one was no unbudgeted. I didn't have an unbudgeted, which is absolutely fantastic. So I can put a nice green check mark on that one. Oh, what a gross green. I wanted 4 no spend days, and I did that. I didn't do a zero-based budget. It didn't feel like the right thing to do And that, guys, concludes April 2021. I've got my £6.28 remaining, which I will roll over into next month, and I'll use it as a sort of buffer. Thank you so much for watching today's video. So what's coming up next? In the next video, I will be sharing my real numbers for May's budget. In May's budget, I'm going to make significant headway on my debts, which I am so excited to tell you all about. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ring that notification bell, because you'll get an alert the very, very second that video comes out. If you have already subscribed and you're returning, thank you so much for supporting the channel. It means so much to me. At the moment, we're on about 24 subscribers. We're about a quarter way to my first goal of 100 subscribers, and we can start building a community, which makes me so excited and so happy for the future. So don't dilly-dally, make sure you subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Legend.